unless you cure this deficit of trust between business and the ANC and between labor and business, South Africa is not going to be able to unite effectively and sustainably behind a common vision for its future. So for me, that is what is at stake, basically. And what this means is that key social partners such as business, the state, and labor must desist from attempts to maximize their narrow interests, because they do so potentially at the risk of their mutual destruction. And what that means is that what they need to put on the table is what they are prepared to concede and what they are prepared to contribute. Now, as far as business is concerned, I talk to business all the time, and what I've been saying to them is this, that if we're going to wait for state capacity to be enhanced to desired levels, we're going to wait for a long time. And therefore, I think we need a strategic shift in our thinking about where state capacity should reside. And it seems to me that we should stop thinking that state capacity resides only in the state, because it should reside in civil society, it should reside in the private sector too. While I am not assuming that there is surplus capacity in the private sector, I do assume that there are elements of that capacity in the private sector that can be unlocked in the interest of the state and therefore in the interests of all our people. So if anything, the role that must be played by business is that of ensuring that it contributes towards the unlocking of capacity within the private sector, capacity that can be lent to the state to enhance state capacity. Let me give an example. Corruption. We are not going to solve the problem of corruption without the help of the private sector. The state alone is not going to solve corruption, especially if I am correct in thinking that corruption in South Africa is no longer endemic, but has become systemic. The state alone will not be able to solve the problem of corruption. And in many countries where some inroads have been made in the fight against corruption, to some extent, the private sector has been involved at a human resource level, at the level of ideas, and sometimes even at the level of financial contributions in assisting the state and independent investigation authorities to do their work. So that is what I mean when I say we must identify capacity in the private sector that can be lent to the state to enhance state capacity in the interest of all our people.